However, we got to start things off talking about the massacre that has been taking place in the 718. I'm talking about the Bucks in Brooklyn. Smitty, we haven't seen something like this from a team that's been so dominant during the regular season. Just come to Brooklyn and get demolished. I mean, 2 straight games they've gotten beat by a combination of 47 points. The offense has been stagnant. The 3 ball's not falling. We know they're missing free throws. Just looking at the Bucks right now, going into Game 3, what needs to change for this Milwaukee Bucks team to get a win in this series?
You know, Ro and Earl, a lot of things for me is a lot of times just playing the game, being around the game, you get hit in the mouth. We all know that. If I get hit in the mouth, I'm going to start talking to Earl. What we going to do, Earl? I saw no communication, no talking. No talking from Giannis, no talking from Middleton, no talking from Jrue Holiday, no talking from Bud. I need communication. It's okay to lose. We all been there. It's a 7-game series. It's not March Madness. They have home court. But when I don't see anybody communicating, veteran teams, if you're young, they don't know what to do, what to say. I need communication because I'm not in their locker room, but I need chatter. I want to be on the bench. I got Earl, what we doing on pick and rolls? Earl, you want me to come over? You want me to let you through? I need chatter. I see frozen. Not like what I'm seeing from there. And that's not even X's and O's, and we can get into that.
Yeah, deer in the headlights. Shouts out to Ernie Johnson, who used that one last night on Inside. That's what they might look like to some. Earl, as far as the personnel goes for this team, the Bucks starting lineup or the rotations, does anything need to change from your perspective, from that vantage point?
That's why I love sitting next to my vet, because he talked about communication and the lack of it. That means they are frozen and they don't have answers. If you don't have answers as a player, you're not chattering. That means you're losing faith in the game plan. And that communication, you know, Smitty ends up in that locker room when all the coaches leave, like, what are we doing? And what I see with the Bucks is you're not going to outshoot the Nets. They have 2 of the best 3 one-on-one players probably in the NBA today in the world between KD and Kyrie. And the third is not even playing yet in Harden. So off the bounce, they're impossible to guard. You need to defend them and find many battles. How can you win? Your ATOs have to change. Maybe your starting lineup has to change, like T. Lue did with the Clippers, or play inside out old school basketball, get them in foul trouble. If a smaller guy is going to guard Lopez, telling him we're not running any plays, we're going to 4 out, you run straight to the rim on makes or misses, we're throwing it to you, you finish at the rim, which is going to end up being fouls. We're going to do analytically points per possession, rim, free throw, corner 3. So you get in the middle of paint, you can score, you get fouled or they collapse, you can kick out for 3s. And we know, Smitty, catch and shoot 3s are better than off the dribble 3s, and maybe we control the pace. Chopping the game at the free throw line, using all of your timeouts to control their runs, meaning the Nets, and we can stay in this game, and hopefully home court advantage can lead it.
And I want to add to this, Earl, 4 out, 1 in. Totally agree. I'm even going 3 out, 2 in. I don't mind either block, which way. If you go front, I'm going to send one high-low. If not, we're going to go into Giannis, even with a bigger person. But if it's any kind of miss or rebound, Lopez got to bury that smaller guy. So I think the one thing is Earl saying, you controlling the pace like we're a running back. We're a running team. We're giving it to the fullback. We're giving it to the fullback. We're going to slow this down. And obviously for me is I'm always about taking shooters' legs. I'm a Kevin Durant fan. But if he's going to guard Brook Lopez and he's going to guard Giannis, I got to try to take his legs because I can't do anything on the other end. So I'm totally agreeing with Earl what he's saying.
No doubt. So we know that this team has been labeled a regular season team for the past couple of seasons. How much do you think this is mental, them struggling out the gate so far in this 2-game series so far?
I think it's more than mental. I think one thing is you got to have answers. And then I think also you got to play hard. What do we do best? We should be rebounding this basketball. I mean, to me, first to the floor has been Blake Griffin. A lot of plays. First to the floor has been Blake Griffin. Who's the first to the floor in the Milwaukee Bucks lineup? Who's first to the floor? And Blake is giving up. Blake was a superstar that was a number 1 option at times, number 2 option. Right now, he's a dirty work, hard hat guy. And he is making plays, and he is not getting in foul trouble. I'm looking right. If Blake gets in foul trouble, I love Claxton, young fella from the University of Georgia, not experienced, not strong enough yet. But there's no foul. Steve Nash has not had to mess with his rotation at all. There's nothing they've done, Earl.
And this is interesting. When you get into a playoff game or any NBA game, you get to the huddle, the players are already talking just like this. Hey, look, when we come down, we're going to run this, and the coaches are coming to give you options. And you really think about their roster, they don't have many vocal guys, period. You know, Jrue Holiday is a great leader, but he leads by example. Giannis, he leads by example. Chris Middleton leads by example. I don't know who is on that roster. And sometimes it's not always a guy that plays. For me in Portland, I will pull Dame to the side and LaMarcus to the side and give them some motivation, and Dame would continue to grow being vocal. Eventually he became vocal. And you talk about rebounding. It's difficult for Lopez to rebound the other end when he's defending the arc off the dribble in Blake Griffin. It takes him away from his game. So when that takes him away from his game defensively, you have to transition him back into his game offensively. And if that's not working, you have to change that rotation. You have to change the rotation quickly and go small ball. Maybe Giannis at the 5 would be better at starting the game than it is Lopez, and change your rotation throughout the game, because if you got to a quick start and chop it in the middle and close quarters and keep it close, now you're putting pressure back on the Nets.